Hey y'all. Yeah. How y'all doing? And I hope y'all enjoying this beautiful day. Yeah. Y'all, y'all come in. Come in, my good people. Come on in, y'all. Got a little information on Ash degree. You remember the little 9-year-old girl went missing? Man, listen, I be telling y'all, when these people going missing, just because it's been years ago, don't mean they not still alive. But we're gonna get into what happened to this baby, okay? But I'm gonna give y'all time to get in because I didn't know I was gonna go live. Yeah. All right, y'all, let's jump into our content for the day. Happy birthday to you. Yeah. Now, y'all, Ash Degree cousin is gonna explain to you all days before she went missing. Okay. She's gonna explain to y'all. This young lady, this baby, let me open your eyes up on this. Let me put a little awareness on this case, okay? Let's do that. Let me put a little awareness on it, okay? On Valentine's Day 2000, year 2000, she was 9 year old at the time. She was 9 year old Ash Degree vanished from her shabby North Carolina home in the early morning hours. Last seen by her family around 2:30 a.m. She was later spotted by drivers walking along Highway 18, a 9-year-old during a storm, y'all. Now hold up. Let me say this again. Because I just can't believe what I just heard. Now, let's say this again. Now, I can't believe it's not no 9-year-old unless she has some type of mental illnesses or something like that. So, a mental health problem, something occurred. This is Ash when she was 9, when she first went missing, okay? Yes. She vanished from her shabby North Carolina home in the early morning hours. Last seen by her family around 2:30 a.m. She was later spotted by drivers walking along Highway 18 during a storm. Witnesses reported seeing her being pulled into a vehicle similar to a 1970s green Lincoln Thunderbird. Hey, Francia. Okay. Thunderbird. Over a year later, construction workers found Asha book bag and belongings wrapped in trash bags near her last sighting. Now look, y'all. Y'all know how we feel about these babies. But before we do anything, close that screen though and start letting all them flies up in here. Now, I'm sick of this. Every time we turn around, we're looking for you. Looking for things like this going on, y'all. So now, yeah, come on, y'all. A 9-year-old, was she sleepwalking? Was she sleepwalking? There is a lot of questions. Was she sleepwalking? Cause they said the family said she was last seen by her family around 2:30 a.m. So they looked in the room and she was in the room at 2:30 a.m. Come on, y'all. 2:30 a.m. in the morning. Hey, man, supposed to be in there asleep. So parents do a check on their kids to make sure everybody not on the phone and all that right there. 9-year old, y'all. Don't forget now, some of us got grandbabies that age. Okay. Now, she was later spotted by drivers walking along a highway 18 during a storm. And so someone felt the need of getting her out of that storm. So a witness reported seeing her being pulled into a vehicle. We're going to get into all of this. We're going to get into the 911. We're going to get into, not, I apologize. We're going to get into cousin is going to explain days before Ash went missing. Okay. Y'all, the witnesses reported seeing her being pulled into a vehicle similar to that 1970 Green Lincoln Thunderbird over 25 years. And then in that car, they found Ash's book bag. What in the world is she doing with a book bag on her back at 2:30 in the morning? That's right. Come on now. Think about it. Why would she be going out the house with a book bag on her back? Come on, parents. Now, I feel, I gave my sympathy for y'all, but come on now. Is she walking in her sleep because she got a book bag and belonging wrapped in a trash bag near her last sighting? That is the weirdest thing. That is weird, y'all. So after 25 years, she looks like this. Beautiful girl. Beautiful. Y'all remember I'm trying to find this story because I thought we'd cover this story. Now, think about it. Why is a child got on her school clothes and a book bag with some belongings in it, and then they picked her up on the side of the road in the rain? Okay, y'all. You know how I am. You know how I am. Now, was Ash's degree ever found? Was she ever found? No. Human remains were recovered, but multiple items of interest, including a green 1964 AMC Rambler, were taken from the site, people. The search warrant indicates that authorities believe Degree was a homicide victim and that her body has been concealed. Now, y'all, let's get into our content. Let's get into our content today. Cause this really hurts me. She been gone 25 years. She been gone since 2000. And they still ain't found her body, y'all. Okay, here we go. Let's look at the timeline of what happened to her. Okay, let's look at the timeline. Okay, that's what we're gonna focus on. We're gonna focus on a whole lot of stuff today. We're gonna focus on a whole lot of stuff today. Now, do anyone know anything about this case? Please contact Cleveland County Sheriff's Office at 704-484 4822. There is a reward up to $45,000, y'all. Okay? Mm, mm, mm. I don't like stuff like this. Oh yeah, let me hook this up. I'm sorry, my fault. I just get so into my content until I just when it come down to kids, y'all got to excuse me. Okay, we about to see Francine. Okay, I'm about to put it on that baby. That I get connected to y'all, but that's okay, y'all. Here we go. Shout out to all my teachers. Spring break here. Spring break, y'all. Please watch our children, please. Here we go. Okay, y'all. This is a timeline. This is the timeline that is given. Y'all make sure y'all like this video and share this video. Okay? Here go this timeline.
Are no longer out there. So let's walk back through the scene. So what we're going to do is we're going to walk through the timeline, and we want to. We've been covering the story throughout the years, and we want to play sort of those stories throughout the years to catch you up and give you some perspective on where we are now. So let's start February 14th, 2000. Asha Degree disappears. Investigators say Degree disappeared from her bedroom in the middle of the night on Valentine's Day, sometime between and no promising scent trail for search dogs to follow. At least two people claim to see the young girl walking along NC Highway 18 around 4 a.m. One person actually told authorities when they turned around to check on the person, the girl ran into the woods and wasn't seen again. Fast forward more than a year later, August 2nd, 2001, Asha's book bag was found. Construction workers found Asha's book bag and a few other items off Highway 18 in Burton County, about 25 miles north of Shelby. Now, the bag was wrapped in two trash bags. The worker who found it said the backpack had Asha's name and a phone number on it. So, again, over the years, we have covered this story from search parties to marches to memorials to vigils. Um, and the overall theme of this is closure for the family and the community there. Um, we want to run a story from 2015 from Asha's parents. Um, 2015, we covered this. So about 10 years ago, we spoke with Asha's parents. Let's listen in.
Oops.
Are this expert is right for you? Switch to Turbo. It don't seem like his picture spring of '99.
Something, anything about the disappearance of their little girl Asha, now coming up on its 15-year anniversary.
We still don't know no more than we did 15 years ago.
Like why Asha left home in the middle of the night, February 14th, 2000.
Nobody still can give us any answers to that.
Where she was heading when a couple of drivers say they saw her walking on Highway 18 about a mile from home. Why some of her school supplies ended up in a nearby barn. And how her book bag ended up buried in the dirt nearly 20 miles from home, discovered by construction crews a year and a half after she disappeared.
That somebody had to pick her up and on the bumper back that off the road.
In 15 years, no clear suspect named to the family. Nobody arrested or charged with a crime in her disappearance. The new picture from the National Center for Missing and Exploited Children showing Asha at 24 makes the family realize how much of her life they've missed if she's still alive, which is what the Degree family firmly believes.
And until somebody can prove to me otherwise, I'm still looking for a person.
The pain hasn't gone away. Time does not heal this wound.
This is worse than death. Because with death, you have closure. With this, there's no closure.
Friday, the hope is any new information from investigators helps solve the mystery.
We know somebody knows something.
And hopefully, 2015. That was Asia's parents 10 years ago. So we want to pick back up on the timeline. September 2017, detectives identified a possible suspect vehicle. Detectives received information that Aisha agreed may have been seen getting into a dark gray Lincoln or Ford Thunderbird. Now we want to play a couple of stories from 2017, but the first story is from 17 years. Like it marked 17 years since Aisha had been missing back in 2017. So let's go into that story. Let's listen into that story.
On Saturday, Family and friends began a walk, taking the same steps that 9-year-old Asha Degree took some 17 years ago. The night Asha managed, a couple of drivers said they saw her walking on Highway 18 in Shelby, about a mile from her home. Her brother had told police he heard noises in the middle of the night, but assumed that Asha had gone to the bathroom or was simply having trouble sleeping. Later, some of Asha's school supplies showed up in a nearby barn. About a year and a half later, construction crews found her book bag buried nearly 20 miles from her home along Highway 18. Over the years, there have been clues, and 17 years later, her parents still hold out hope that she will be found.
And I just refuse to let anybody take it away from me.
All right, so that's a story from search efforts of March there that was held in 2017. We want to stay on 2017. Again, I want to, we're going through this timeline. So it's, again, September 2017, detectives identified a possible suspect vehicle. Detectives received information that Aisha Degree may have been seen getting into a dark green Lincoln or Ford Thunderbird. So we want to get to another story from 2017. This story is about those search efforts. Again, 2017 marked 17 years since Aisha had been missing. Let's take a listen into this story.
The team the FBI is sending here to Cleveland County from Washington, D.C. is specially trained to deal in cases involving missing children.
Today, I can stand before you and tell you that we've made progress.
Sheriff Alan Norman in the Charlotte FBI office asked the FBI's Child Abduction Rapid Deployment Team, known as CARD, to come to Cleveland County. They believe the case of missing 9-year-old Aisha Degree can still be solved 17 years after she disappeared.
We have reason to believe that individuals in this community or the surrounding area have knowledge of or information pertaining to the disappearance of Aisha.
The FBI's CARD fresh look at what happened to Aisha, who was last seen by a number of drivers who saw her walking near her home in Shelby in the middle of the night.
People's perspectives, people remember things differently, so we're definitely conducting re-interviews of people that have been interviewed before.
There have been some leads in the case. Aisha's book bag was found buried a year after she disappeared. Recently, investigators got information the little girl was seen getting into either an early 1970s Lincoln or a Ford Thunderbird.
We strongly believe that someone has information that can lead us to Aisha.
The reward for information in this case now totals $45,000, and if you do call, you have to remain anonymous. In Cleveland County, Brad Berkey, NBC Charlotte.
And that was the story that we covered on search efforts in 2017. So let's jump ahead on the timeline. More than a year later, October 9th, 2018, detectives offer some new clues. The Cleveland County Sheriff's Office posts a video on social media asking about a library book and a concert t-shirt from a New Kids on the Block concert with a red collar. All right, so let's advance the timeline some more. So let's go to February 8th, 2020. The community gathers to remember 8/20 marked 20 years and Aisha Degree had been missing. People gathered at Lowell's Memorial Baptist Church and walked to the missing person sign where Aisha was last seen. Also in 2020, a new photo of Aisha Degree was released. Let's get to that. Let's look from 20.
This news conference was all about Aisha Degree, but it was also aimed at someone else.
There's someone today that'll hear this message. You're carrying the burden. You've carried it for 20 years. And I want you to contact me personally to relieve yourself of that burden. And let's bring Aisha home.
It's been a personal mission for Cleveland County Sheriff Alan Norman, who 20 years ago was a ship commander, working the day Aisha was reported missing. Dubbed Cleveland County's sweetheart, she was last seen walking along Highway 18 outside Shelby. Investigators with the Sheriff's Office, the SBI, and FBI continue to gather leads. 45 tips just in the last year. And on this somber anniversary, investigators released an age-progressed photo of the 9-year-old on the verge of 30. FBI spokeswoman Shelley Lynch says the National Center for Missing and Exploited Children developed this photo with help from Aisha's mom.
She told us, when we went and spoke to her in that interview, that Aisha looked more like her father's side of the family. That would give kind of more of an accurate picture of what she might look like today.
This new photo will be placed on billboards along major interstates across the region, including I-77 and I-85 in Charlotte for the next few weeks. They hope that someone who knows those critical details will see this new photo and come forward, bringing closure to this case.
She went missing under my watch, and I want her brought home under my watch.
Anyone who may have any piece of information, no matter how small, is asked to call those phone numbers. Reporting in Cleveland County, Brandon Goldner, WCNC Charlotte.
And that was from 2020 again. A photo of Aisha Degree that was released February 15th, 2020. So let's go 4 years from 2020. We're talking about 2024. So last May, May 24th, 2024, investigators say they made a significant progress in this investigation. That's according to the FBI. Aisha's mother also said she believes at that time that her daughter is still alive. That's what she said back in 2024. She said, quote, "I know she's dead," her mother said, "and I know someone knows something, and I'm not crazy enough to think that a 9-year-old can disappear into thin air without somebody knowing something." That's what she said May 24th, 2024. September 13th, 2024, the FBI raided a Cleveland County property connected to Aisha's disappearance. Sheriff Alan Norman said the warrants were obtained based on physical evidence directly connected to Degree's disappearance. Now, Norman said no human remains were recovered at any of the properties that were searched, and an older green vehicle similar in appearance to the one in connection with Degree's disappearance was towed away from the property. So let's jump up a little bit. 5 days after that, September 18th, 2024, Aisha was, quote, "a victim of homicide." That's according to warrants that were revealed. Now, Aisha Degree was a victim, quote, victim of homicide, and her body was, quote, concealed, according to search warrants. Investigators said a hair sample found in Degree's backpack in 2021 led them to the home on Cherville Road. David Teddy, the attorney of the for the property owner, who he identified as Roy Dedman, said on that Friday, back in September of 2024, that the investigation would soon reveal a now deceased individual was responsible for what happened to Degree. Now, that attorney, David Teddy, declined to elaborate further on why he believed that. So we want to pick it back up here. Austin Walker covered that story back in 2024. Let's take a listen to that.
What happened to Aisha Degree? It's a question her great uncle has asked himself every day since she disappeared. And with the recent development of 2 suspects being named, he asks, why them? And it's a question the Cleveland County Sheriff will not answer.
Hmm?
Listen, if you've been in a
Standing out on his front lawn,
I'd say you would be all with him.
Willie Key looks out onto the road, holding on to a 24-year-old question.
Would we ever find out?
What happened to his great niece, Aisha Degree?
Why did it happen in our left?
A case with no answers and minimal leads, turning cold. But last week, a multiple agency search on 5 properties across Cleveland, Lincoln, and Mecklenburg counties may give this family answers.
But I wanted to know, did they find for sure it was her DNA?
According to 100 pages of search warrants released Monday, the documents list the 2 suspects as Roy and Connie Dedman.
Not that I know.
He says his family has no association with the Dedmans, something the search warrants also stated.
Rampant conjecture and speculation
saying last week Roy had nothing to do with Aisha's disappearance and doubling down Monday after search warrants named his client as a suspect. Search warrants state Roy and Connie do not currently live together. We went to her home Tuesday. We saw someone inside and 2 cars were in the driveway, but no one answered. While the Deadmans were the only ones named as suspects, DNA testing from some of Aisha's belongings found in 2001 shows matches for 2 different people. The Deadman's daughter, Anna Lee, who was 13 at the time of Aisha's disappearance, and Russell Underhill, a man who is now dead but who lived at assisted living facilities either owned or operated by the Deadmans around the time of Aisha's disappearance. So why were they not named suspects?
Perhaps they already have their primary person. They know who it is.
That's in Quentin Williams, a former FBI agent and federal prosecutor. He also added he has no answer on why names were only just now released when the DNA was collected back in 2001, but says there might have been advancements in DNA testing.
I just wondered how come it happened.
In the meantime, Key is reminded of Aisha every day,
Riding by her picture.
carrying her memory.
I said, God,
Time does not heal this wound.
this is worse than death. Because with death, you have closure. With this, there's no closure.
Friday, the hope is any new information from investigators helps solve the mystery.
We know somebody knows something.
And hopefully, talks. Tony Burback, NBC Charlotte. All right, so that was from 2015. That was Aisha's parents 10 years ago. So we want to pick back up on the timeline. September 2017, detectives identified a possible suspect vehicle. Detectives received information that Aisha Degree may have been seen getting into a dark green Lincoln or Ford Thunderbird. Now, we want to play a couple stories from 2017, but the first story is from 17 years later. It marked 17 years since Aisha had been missing back in 2017. So we want to get to that story. Let's listen to that story.
That's all I have.
On Saturday, family and
My
friends
faith is
gathered
not
for a
good.
walk, taking the same steps that 9-year-old Aisha Degree took some 17 years ago.
Keep her name and keep her on your mind.
The night Aisha vanished, a couple of drivers say they saw her walking on Highway 18 in Shelby, about a mile from her home. Her brother had told police he heard noises in the middle of the night, but assumed that Aisha had gone to the bathroom or was simply having trouble sleeping. Later, some of Aisha's school supplies showed up in a nearby barn. About a year and a half later, construction crews found her book bag buried nearly 20 miles from her home along Highway 18. Over the years, there have been clues, and 17 years later, her parents still hold out hope that she will be found.
And I just refuse to let anybody take it away from me.
All right, so that's a story from search efforts, a march there that was held in 2017. We want to stay on 2017. Again, I want to, we're going through this timeline. So, it's, again, September 2017, detectives identify a possible suspect vehicle. Detectives received information that Aisha Degree may have been seen getting into a dark green Lincoln or Ford Thunderbird. So, we want to get to another story. 2017, this story is about those search efforts. Again, 2017 marked 17 years roughly since Aisha had been missing. Let's take a listen into this story.
The team the FBI is sending here to Cleveland County from Washington, D.C. is specially trained to deal in cases involving missing children.
Today, I can stand before you and tell you that we've made progress.
Sheriff Alan Dorman in the Charlotte FBI office asked the FBI's Child Abduction Rapid Deployment Team, known as CARD, to come to Cleveland County. They believe the case of missing 9-year-old Aisha Degree can still be solved 17 years.
Hold up, y'all. Hold up. Hold up. I think my thing went back a little bit. Hold on for 1 second. I'm gonna start it right here, y'all, because it went back too far. I'm gonna start it right here. I apologize.
Story from 2024, talking about those warrants. He talked to the community there. disappeared. Our Caitlin Hadwood covered that the anniversary of her disappearance. Was listening to her story from 2024.
This is the area where investigators say Asha Degree went missing 24 years ago. Family still hoping for answers that will bring her home safe.
Even when I'm out and about and I see a strange face, I be wondering, is that her?
As the search for Asha Degree continues, families say the past 24 years without her haven't gotten any easier.
It hurts every day when I'm riding up down these roads.
Her aunt, Brenda Kimball, says she still remembers February 14, 2000 like it was yesterday, when her niece, who loved basketball and family, disappeared at just 9 years old. Kimball recalling the conversation she had with family.
It was cold, foggy, raining a little bit that day. And like I told her, it's going to get better. We're going to find her before dark fall, but we did. I don't understand why we couldn't find her.
Investigators say there was no sign of forced entry or a scent for dogs to follow, though they did receive at least 2 reports from people who say they may have seen the young girl walking along Highway 18 around 4 in the morning. More than 2 decades later, the FBI, State Bureau of Investigation, and Cleveland County Sheriff's Office continue to work on the case and say new technology is helping. While the agencies would not provide an interview, they shared this pre-recorded video explaining their efforts.
Things that aid us now that we didn't have 24 months ago, much less 24 years ago. But I can tell you that there's been so many cases, not only here, but across the nation, that have actually recently, within the past days to a couple years, that have actually been solved due to new technology that's out.
And I truly feel like the progress has been made, and I have high hopes that it's going to be solved. We're going to have some answers for the family.
If you have any details that you think can help, to contact the Cleveland County Sheriff's Office. Reporting in Shelby, Kaylin Hadwood, WCNC Charlotte.
And then, again, that was Caitlin Hadwood covering 24 years since, at the time, back in 2024 last year, since Asha Degree had disappeared. So we want to stick here on the timeline in 2024. Again, we mentioned those warrants. I'm going to go back over it. So Asha Degree, September 18th, 2024, Asha Degree was, quote, victim of homicide, and her body was, quote, concealed, as according to search warrants that we obtained. Investigators said a hair sample found in Degree's backpack in 2001 led them to a home on Cherville Road. David Teddy, the attorney for the property owner, who he identified as Roy Dedman, said Friday of that week, on September 18th, back in 2024, that the investigation would soon reveal a now deceased individual was responsible for what happened to Degree. Now, Teddy, at the time, declined to elaborate further on why he believed that. So, sticking with his warrants, our WCNC Charlotte's Julie K verified what was in the warrants and details surrounding this case back in 2024. Let's take a listen to that. The truth is, behind closed doors, the people.
Yeah, you know, we gonna talk suspicious.
Including all the search warrants officials executed last week, what they were looking for and what they found. So let's verify what we do know. First, we know they found DNA of Asha's things that belong to 2 different people. Their names are Russell Underhill and Annalee Dedman. Court documents show the only link between these 2 people are Roy and Connie Dedman, who have both been named as suspects. Roy and Connie are the parents of Annalee, who was 13 at the time of Asha's disappearance. That other name we mentioned, Russell Underhill, passed away in 2004. Search warrants say he was under the care of Roy and Connie at an assisted living facility they operated around the time of Asha's disappearance. We also know that law enforcement searched a lot of places relating to all of these people. Last week, they searched the home where suspects Roy and Connie lived with their daughter Annalee at the time of the disappearance. That's where they found a green car that matches the description of a car similar to the one originally sought during the initial search in 2000. Roy, Connie, and Annalee now all live in separate homes. Law enforcement took DNA samples and searched the current residences of all these living people, including a large search of Roy's home. The documents say they took dozens of evidence pieces, including an unidentified human tooth in a Ziploc bag, but nowhere did they find any human remains. That leaves what we don't know. Police are officially waiting to hear more about why Anna Lee is not considered a suspect. Documents touch on this repeatedly with the quote, investigators believe adult assistance from Roy Dedman and Connie Dedman would have been necessary in the execution or concealment of the crime. We reached back out to the Cleveland County Sheriff to get some of these answers, but he says he's not taking any questions at the moment. With your Verify, I'm Julie Kay, WCNC Charlotte.
And that was Julie Kay back in 2024, verifying what was in the warrants at the time and what wasn't in the warrants. So that's the time of 2024. We're on the timeline. So let's put a pin in the timeline. We want to jump up to present day. So today. Today, this morning, the Cleveland County Sheriff's Office announced that it was partnering with multiple agencies to search a property in Lincoln County in connection with the Asian degree case. We actually have a development in this. We want to bring back in WCNC Charlotte's Nate Morabito. So what do you have, Nate?
All right, so two things. Number one, I just spoke to the owner of the property. I'm not going to name him. We said he's not related to this. That's the indication we have. I asked him, I said, why were they out there searching? He goes, why do you think? And I said, well, I think they were looking for Asian degree. He goes, yes. You need to ask the sheriff's office if you have questions, though. He goes, I don't know if they found anything. I'm just trying to help. So number one, I also talked to the sheriff there in Lincoln County, Bill Beebe, who says that they have no expectation of going back out there tonight. They were just providing manpower. So we don't know if they found anything, but we know, as we assume, what they were looking for was that little girl.
So we can't confirm its connection. We reported done that. Connected. Yes. Yeah, but you spoke with the property owner, and no indication that authorities will be back out there.
Today, at least the Lincoln County team that was helping support the operation there.
Nate, thank you for that update. Nate has been coming in and out of the studio all morning since it was broke about the search over there in Lincoln County. So, thank you for your efforts.
No problem. Yeah, I get it.
Yeah.
Okay, y'all. Hold up. We about to talk. Now, we about to talk about this. So I wants to go back here. Now, I had to listen to this over, and I'm glad I found the timeline for y'all. For us, to go with this case. Hold on, y'all. Because, first of all, let me put this on. Hold on, y'all. Hey, I want to thank everybody for showing up. What's up, chat? Now, look, y'all. Hold up. We're going to take it back. We're going to take this back. Now, you know how I am. This little girl, this baby, 9 years old, got up out her bed, put on some clothes, going out there in the rain and the cold with a backpack and some clothes in it. And then the brother heard some noise. Now, I got a question. I have a question about the brother. He is one of my questions. Because if a brother heard any noise, they'll get up out that bed and go see what's going on with their little sister. Okay, I'm just saying, y'all. Y'all know how I am. You know what kind of critical thinker I am. Now, because everybody gonna be a suspect until I find out how did she get outside that house, walking around in the rain on a highway. How did she get to the highway, y'all? You actually, wait a minute. Okay. Calm down, Lanita. Calm down. The mom said she went in there at 2:30 a.m. in the morning. What made that mama wake up and find? What wakes the mother up in the middle of the morning to go see is that little girl in that room? I got another question. Do the girl have any mental health issues or mental illnesses going on here? Have she ever walked in her sleep? Have she ever did that? What is it about Asha degree different from anybody else in the family, any other children in the family? What is it about her? I know she played basketball. She a smart student. That little girl play basketball, y'all. She's disciplined. Okay. Now, is it someone on that basketball team jealous of this girl, or did her brother help her out there? How did she just all of a sudden just want to get up out that bed and walk, put her backpack on, and walk out that door in the middle of the morning on a highway? Don't no 9-year-old do that. Now y'all ain't gonna be stop making me think crazy. Don't no 9-year-old walk out do that. That's not normal. That's abnormal. That girl right there got plenty of sense. That baby had plenty of sense. That backpack had Asia name on it. Somebody want Ashley to be found. Now, here you go. Take you out of here. What was going on right here at that time? What was going on at that moment? With the mama, because the mama was younger then and the dad was younger. What was going on at that time in the family? Because I want to see the brother. The brother just keep popping up in my mind. See, when you get one children more attention than you get the other attention, they can get jealous. But Ashley is not gonna just get up out that bed, y'all, and walk out there in that rain. How you know, Lanita? Because that ain't normal. She could have did that on another day. Why is she walking around out there in that cold air on a highway with her book bag? Telling me that she's not awake, is she? Is she sleepwalking? Now, them the questions I got. Is she having a nightmare? Is she sleepwalking? Okay, now these people. First of all, why is this girl school stuff out here? Why do she have her school stuff? That's what I'm trying to see. Is it a culture? Is it anybody know? Hold up, y'all. I want to show y'all something. Hold on. Y'all help me. Why is this girl got her book bag? If she was walking in her sleep, Lanita, she want to grab the book bag. Who got that little girl out the house, and what the purpose of getting rid of this girl, this baby? What was the purpose of getting her out of here? Why at 9-year-old it's dark outside? Somebody ain't telling the truth. Somebody don't police now. Unlike the police, somebody. Now I want to take y'all to right here. Hold up. Hold on, y'all. I want to take y'all this right. Hold up. I'm still looking for that car. Now, before I get to them, I need to find my car. That's what I'm looking for right here. Hold on, y'all. Let me find the car from the first. Can't find the car no more. God, I cannot find that car. Hold on for a minute. And yeah, I want y'all to remember that car. But it's can't find my car. Okay. Hold on, y'all. If I can't find, I don't understand why I can't find the car. Cause we just see it. But sorry, they had a search warrant on these folks' house property. Now I want to take out since I cannot find the car. I want to take out the right here, right here. The list is two suspect. This part. I can't find my car, y'all. But that green Chevrolet is where they found some of her stuff in the plastic bag.
Family has no association with the Deadmans, something the search warrant also stated.
Rampant conjecture and speculation.
Roy Deadman's attorney saying last week Roy had nothing to do with Aisha's disappearance.
Okay, how do y'all know Roy ain't got nothing to do with it? How y'all know that Roy doesn't have nothing to do with it? What do a 13-year-old girl know about this girl? Now, that's what I want to ask y'all. Okay, how old was her brother at that time? And do he know that 13-year-old girl? How did she end up out there on the highway walking with a book bag on her back? And the brother heard something, didn't get up and do nothing about it. And then the mama gonna get up at 2 or 2:30. It seemed like somebody, why they look like they made her do that? Somebody made her do that to me. I ain't no psychic. And you just keep walking. And somebody gonna pick you up. I don't know why she on that highway. That is weird. What did anybody give her something to drink to make her react the way she reacting? This is not normal, y'all. And why is her, and another thing, why is her name on a book bag? She is not in the kindergarten. She's on the basketball team. Why they got her name on a book bag like she 2 years old? That's for little kids in the daycare center. That is for kindergarten, pre-K, with their name on the book bag. Why do you have her name on on a 9-year-old. Let me think modern. Let's think modern, Lanita. Everybody doing stuff in a modern way. They don't like to tell nothing. They don't like to tell the truth. They just make up stuff. They doing it different.
Search warrants named his client as a suspect. Search warrants state Roy and Connie do not currently live together.
Okay, why they don't live together? Roy and Connie. Why all of a sudden y'all don't separate? There is something ain't right about the people who they think are suspects. Why they divorced now? Why they separate now? Whatever they doing. He unalive. We don't know how he passed away. What she do to him? Cause we can't find Asha. So we're gonna blame somebody. Cause somebody picked that girl up. It's more like they kidnapped her. What make you stop and grab a little girl and put her in the car instead of dialing 911? If you're gonna put her in the car, and the car was a sharp car. That 19 Chevy was beautiful. So you snatch a little human body in your car. You don't know if it's a little girl. What y'all plan on doing to the little girl? Were you plan on selling the little girl? What is it? What you plan on doing with the 9-year-old? Because I believe she fought for her life because she on the basketball kids are made differently mentally. They are disciplined too. They are tougher. They know how to bounce around. They know how to move. They know how to run. I believe this girl did everything she could to get away, y'all. And she didn't cooperate. And then they got a 13-year-old girl, daughter.
We went to her home Tuesday. We saw someone inside and 2 cars were in the driveway, but no one answered. While the dead men were the only ones named as suspects, DNA testing from some of Asha's belongings found in 2001 shows matches for 2 different people. The dead man's daughter.
Hold up. The laboratory analysis of collected DNA samples, likelihood that the hair stem sample from Asia, that's the daughter. Yes. they, they give, you know what? They giving us something to think about. I just told my daughter she don't move out of state. And I said, why don't you tell me who you staying with? What you doing? I mean, it's secret and then they don't tell us nothing. So this right here, genetically identical to collected with Anna Lee. They found this girl hair on Anna Lee, Victoria, and there's Desmond Ramirez. What is it, Ramirez? Let's see these people. It's a hereditary family member, y'all. These folks, just like you just said, these folks, wow. And they are. You tell me that these folks out at that time of morning, driving on the street and saw a little body. Man, these people, is something ain't right, y'all. This is sound like Chainsaw Massacre. Wherever it is, whatever the name of it. Kidnap. They looking at somebody looking at too much TV. They looking at too much TV and playing games. These investigation games. Now these people are related, y'all, and elite. And their man, he's unalive. He don't did what he had to do there and got rid of him. Roy is unalive. I apologize. And they have not been named a suspect. Wow. Lee. Okay, what they trying to say, y'all, is Roy Lee and Connie run a facility. Anna Lee, and there's some allegedly family members that got caught up in this mess. I wonder how Roy Lee passed away. Ooh, wait, chat.
Anna Lee, who was 13 at the time.
See, Anna Lee was 13. A 13-year-old girl. And they got a sharp car. How in the world they got a 13-year-old daughter mixed up in this mess? And she 9. How old is the brother? Cause that girl ain't did walk out that door. Who else was staying there at their house? Who else was living in their house? Who else was visiting in their house? Something happened in their house for that little girl to get out there. I don't care what that family say. Something made that girl get out her bed and walk out that door. Cause she was in there mind her business. Because she participated in stuff. She got to study and stuff. And y'all done made her get up out that bed and walk. Now, you ain't gonna make me look like I'm crazy. Let's find out about Anna Lee.
Aisha's disappearance, and Russell Underhill, a man who is now dead but who lived at assisted living facility.
So Russell, okay, excuse me, God, I got the name wrong. I got the name wrong. If you're a human, you ain't gonna get nothing right all the time. Okay, I don't know these people, and I'm getting their name mixed up. Roy, I'm getting Roy mixed up with the Russell. Now let me see what they done. Let me go back right here. I thought Russell was dead. I had it right the first time, but then I got confused. So Connie, you and your husband, whoever that man is, y'all got something going on right here.
DNA testing from some of Aisha's belongings found in 2001 shows matches for 2 different people. The dead man's daughter, Anna Lee, who was 13 at the
Oh, so the dead man daughter, Anna Lee, was 13. Okay, we got that. Okay.
time of Aisha's disappearance, and Russell Underhill, a man who is now dead.
Okay, Russell is unalive. And he lived with Raleigh. Raleigh. He lived with Raleigh and Connie. Why is Russell unalive? Raleigh, I apologize. I thought it was you unalive, but now it's not you, it's Russell. What did Russell do to Asia to make him be unalive? Okay, y'all heard what I said. What did Russell do to make Russell be unalive like Asia? Did Russell try to save Asia from Roy and Connie?
At assisted living facilities, either
an assistant living facility. So y'all just go out and just pick up chillings and put them in your car and take it to your facility? What did Russell do to be unalive? That went down in that facility that he didn't want to see it happen to Asia. Who knew Asia? And why did they pick up that little girl? I believe Russell tried to save Asia, y'all, from being in them folk facility. No telling, it probably been some more missing children in their facility.
Owned or operated by the Deadmans around the time of Asha's disappearance.
Said what? What you say? Let me bad this up a little. What you just say? Let me see. I don't want to take it too much. He said a man who is now dead, but when he was alive in assistant facility. I believe the new people, cause now they act like Raleigh. They act like Russell run the facility. they confused me. They confused me. I'm not about to let them do that to me. Not that day.
Who lived at assisted living facility.
Oh, he lived in that assistant. Okay, Russell lived there. I believe Russell knew something going on in that facility, y'all. Did she walk up to their house and knock on the door? Now they put her in that car. I want to find that car with that Chevy car in.
Owned or operated by the Deadmans around the time of Asha's disappearance. So why were they not named suspects?
Right.
Perhaps they already have their primary person. They know who it is.
What you say? Why? By the way, what the hell is going on? Did you hear what that man just said? Y'all, I'm gonna tell y'all something. These people right here, these people, let me take it up right here. Hold up. Those people got some Russ of them, Russ, Roy, and his 13-year-old, and Brad, Connie and Roy Lee, all of them know what's going on. But why would they pick up a black girl and take them to their house? God, this is weird.
But who lived at assisted living facilities either owned or operated by the Deadmans around the time.
How far I got another question. How far do the family live from Raleigh then? Because it sounds like some mental health going on here, y'all. It is. They run a facility. Mental illness and mental health is going on. Mental illness in that facility. Okay. What did Russell do?
Of Asha's disappearance. So why were they not named suspects?
That's a question I want to put. Why are they not suspects? Why are these people not? Why they letting these killers go? Why they not? Why are they not suspects? I want to know too. Why are these people not suspects? Let me see who's gonna take up for Raleigh and Connie.
Perhaps they already have
He said perhaps they already have. Who is you? Who are you? You look kind of suspicious. All of y'all gonna be suspicious.
their primary person. They know who it is.
Y'all heard it? They do know who did that. They know who did it. Now it seems like now when people found unalive, it seems like, well, we're gonna forget about this. We're gonna leave it alone right here. Take them folks in there, investigate them. That man just told y'all, whoever he is, he look weird.
Quentin Williams, a former FBI agent and federal prosecutor.
Oh, he a former FBI agent? That man head ain't right. His head made funny. somebody in that family ain't right. And I can't put my hand on it. Somebody in their family ain't right. So you mean to say the way I locked my door, my house locked up in 2000, that door ain't locked? Y'all, you can't even walk around my house without me knowing it. What's up, Chuck? You can't walk around my house. You can't even go to the bathroom without me knowing it. If you call yourself tipping toe past my room, I know when you open up that front door. Because 2000, I still had my ring on my house. They not have a ring. But you have to have some kind of alarm. All the parents out there got children, have some kind of cameras in your house. Because you got to know what's going on. Because y'all ain't going to tell me that little girl woke up in the middle of the morning and she's smart like she is and decided to go outside and walk in her sleep, open up the door with her book bag and just disappear. Or walking on a highway. Cold as this is outside, most children be trying to stay in the heat, not in the darn cotton picking rain in the cold. And why is she walking on the highway? Who told her to do that? Why are y'all who have that facility belongs to Raw Lee and Connie? Who know about that facility to make this girl seem like she's crazy? How far is the facility from where the parents live? Somebody ain't telling the truth in this situation. Now I hope they get to the bottom line because they don't want me to help them with the investigate. I have everybody interrogated.
He also added he has no answer on why names were only just now released when the day was collected back in 2000.
See, 2000, they supposed to have spoke on them two people. Who? I'm gonna tell you something, y'all. These days, you got family members. It's GBIs and security guard, police officer, judges. For them to be running a facility like that, something ain't right. They doing something that they ain't got no business doing. Now, that 45,000, if don't, I'm gonna tell you, if don't nobody answer to that right there, that's some inside mess. That somebody is set that girl up. Why her? She's young. Why her? Why this baby right here? Well, y'all didn't take me out my bed. Y'all came in that girl room, took that girl. Why y'all didn't take her brother? Y'all took her. You got a man in that house and you got a woman in that house and you got a brother in that house. You mean to tell me that this girl ended up out the house? Somebody there wasn't afraid of the family. They better interrogate that family. Somebody connected to the Connie them. Somebody knows something. Or was she running away? Was she trying to get away from somebody who keep on messing with her? This a whole lot of stuff, y'all.
And one, but says there might have been advancements in DNA testing.
How come I happen?
In the meantime, he is reminded of Asha every day,
Riding by her picture.
carrying her memory. God, hopeful.
I hope you ain't did it. But I'm just looking at everybody as a suspect. But some people can be so innocent. I don't trust nobody right now. I don't trust nobody right now. In this case right here. because somebody connected. Why that girl on the highway is freaking me out. And I got 9 year. Well, my granddaughter 10 now. She got sense enough not to open that door and go on that side in that cold and that rain, and then take her book bag. What kind of shoes she had on? What kind of clothing? What kind of clothing did she have on? Jesus.
They are one step closer. The Cleveland County Sheriff
Down in 2000, and this is not 2019 and 2020. That 2000 year was hell. The 2000 year at the beginning, it was a whole lot of stuff going on, whole lot of mess. And then when they lock y'all in y'all house and told you can't go to work, then you got behind on your bills, fooling with no folks lost jobs. It was a reason for that, y'all. And then y'all think the pandemic started in 2020. No, it started in 2019 because I got sick. And it's a strange sickness. It wasn't a sick sickness. It's like a dizziness. It's like a dizzy, and then I had to get blood transfused. I ain't never had to do all that. That was 2019. Well, they had y'all thinking that that pandemic started in, hey, that COVID started in 2019. And I'm one of y'all witnesses because I ain't know what was going on. I'm a healthy person. This with this girl ain't right. Mm, 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 mm.
is not taking any questions at this time. The FBI says they have nothing further to add, and the DA.
GBI, y'all something else now. Some of y'all got some crooks up in that circle too. Now some of them they ain't trying to help find nothing. Some of them, well, forget about it. She's just a little girl of color. We don't dig up in. You hate to look at stuff like that, y'all, but y'all living in a modern world, people. It's been happening, but it still ain't right. Them people didn't come, Connie and Rod Lee, they didn't come knocking on their door and drag that girl out their house. How old was the brother back then? Was he the teenager? Do he have teenager friends? Because sometimes in the area that you go to school in, you surround with more whites than black, or more blacks than white. I don't know the area where they live in, because she's on a country road walking. Them other people, and who saw all of this? I saw her, they pulled her in the car. Who is that person? You're a suspect too in Lanita's investigation. You're a suspect. Talk to me.
County Austin Walker, WCNC Charlotte.
And that was Austin Walker's story from 2024, talking about those warrants. He talked to the community there.
See, that was 2024. Now, I want to go back to 2017. But before I go there, I want to go right here. I want to go right here. And I want to go back to Riley. I really want to go back to Riley. Roy Lee and Connie. Nick Connie. Cause that's where that warrant came in at.
In this case, back in 2024, let's take a listen to that.
Today we've been combing through 100 pages worth of information.
This, y'all. This. These people know what they talking about. Verify. They know, and they got the unknown. They label stuff. They know what's going on. They're going to start with the searches. Watch this.
The search warrants officials executed last week, what they were looking for and what they found. So let's verify what we do know. First, we know they found DNA of Asha's things that belonged to.
Now, DNA on Asha's belongings. They found them folks' DNA on Asia belongings. Y'all people better start making noise and stop being quiet. Y'all better start making noise and stop being quiet. Because these folks want you to be quiet. They're going to say stuff for you to shut up. They're going to say things for you to stop talking. But somebody got to have some power and go over the family head and talk. Make all the noise in the world you want to.
Two different people. Their names are Russell Underhill and Anna.
Now, Russell and Anna. What in the world are they doing out the bed that time of morning? Anna 13. Russell gone. I think Russell gone. Keep on getting them names and stuff. I think Russell's gone. Russell gone. What is it that what the DNA is found on her belongings? Why are they scared to lock them up when they ain't no 13-year-old no more, y'all? Russell gone. I think Russell gone. Make sure I ain't give him this over Raleigh. But wow.
Deadman. Court documents show the only link between these two people are Roy and Connie Deadman, who have both been.
Hold up, y'all. Hold up. Y'all know me. I'm sorry. Let me do this again. Please let me do that one more time. Let me do that.
You know, they found DNA of Asha's things that belong to two different people. Their names are Russell Underhill and.
Yeah, their names are what? How are they related? How is Russell and Anna Lee related? That girl too young to be around that man. Delmont, that's his daughter, ain't it? Hold on, y'all. Hold on.
Verify what we do know. First, we know they found DNA of Asha's things that belong to two different people. Their names are Russell Underhill and Anna Lee Deadman. Court documents show the only link between these two people are Roy and Connie Deadman.
So them right there, they something else because they got that sharp car. These two gangsters, Bonnie and Clyde, Connie and Raleigh. Raleigh, you and Connie, and that little girl is y'all daughter. That 13-year-old at that time was y'all daughter. And now what is it that y'all had cooking? That Bonnie and Clyde right there, that Bonnie and Clyde. And their daughter is Anna. What her name is, Lord have mercy, Jesus. I don't know nobody. Now, I'm not even trying to remember these people's names. Anna Lee Deadman. Is she their daughter? why they who where was Asia of Asha walking to? See, y'all got to put all this together. Where was Asia walking to? How far is that facility from there? How do Asia know Anna? Anna 13, Asia 9. They might not even be related in there. Why Russell? They got rid of Russell. These people right here, I hate to say this. I don't want to say this. I don't know why organs just came to my mind. I don't know. I ain't no psychic, but I don't know why the organs just came to my mind. I ain't saying that. I'm just saying something ain't right. People be trying to still do something to people body to get their organ and get it sold, y'all. See, it's a lot of stuff going on in situations like that. That's why you gotta keep an eye on your children. Now, I don't know how the organ came in my mind. All I thought about was her age. And now when you got a lot of missing children, you got money out there. When you talking about missing folks, 2025 years, somebody got paid. Somebody got some money. Somebody saved somebody's life allegedly. Cause that's how it wait a minute, let me see what this is. This is how it be going down out here. That's right. And I'm glad you came on here and said that. I thought I was saying something wrong, but just a few minutes ago, it just rung my bell. It just rung my bell. I ain't said nothing about that until just then. It just hit me when I thought about Roy and Connie. See, when I thought about Raw and Connie, I thought about Anna, their daughter. If Anna's some kin to them, what happened to Russell? Only way you'll take that little girl right there. This was 2000, and this 2025. You already on soul. You don't got all thing. You don't did what you got to do to go sell what you got to sell. Allegedly, y'all. I'm just trying to put these Bunny and Clyde together. And they name is suspect. Why the hell y'all ain't locked them up yet? Cause they know that body ain't gonna be found. The body burned somewhere. This organ soul. Let me stop. I'm getting it. Let me stop. I told you I didn't even know Anna was over Anna's parents just then. I didn't know what. I just thought that Anna over their child. What is it that Anna need? Do Anna need do she need something for her body? What else? What do she need? What is it that her body needs? What is it that somebody need? Cause they got a little young girl.
And Connie are the parents of Anna Lee, who was 13 at the time of Aisha's disappearance. Other name we mentioned, Russell Underhill, passed.
Now Russell lived at least 2 facilities. Wait, investigators determined Russell Underwood lived at least in at least 2 facilities. What is wrong with Russell mentally to be in a facility with Bonnie and Clyde? What kind of facility is Bonnie and Clyde running, operating? Because they had Russell there. Well, Russell trying to defend Ash. So the facility was, see, Russell. Why was Russell living in two different facilities? Who is his people? Put him in all these two different facilities. What is it that he keep doing wrong to keep going to two different facilities? And the last facility he ended up with was Bonnie and Clyde, Roy and Connie. During the time, Asia's degree was reported as a missing. So, wow. During the time, Asia was reported as a missing person. Russell Bradley Underhill was discovered deceased in Lincoln County in 2004. Why? What y'all do with his organ? No, mercy. Asia, they tried to put Asia in that facility. And Asia wasn't going to do what them folks say do. And them folks had, Bonnie Clyde did what they had to do to take that girl out of him, along with Russell. So you still got thousands of money floating around to run that facility. That facility need to be torn down.
Away in 2004. Search warrants say he was under the care of Roy and Connie at an assisted living facility they operated.
Told you, Bonnie Clyde, something else.
Around the time of Aisha's disappearance, we also know that law enforcement searched a lot of places relating to all of these people. Last week, they searched the home where suspects Roy and Connie lived with their daughter Annalie at the time of the disappearance. That's where they found a green.
That's what I've been looking for. This what I've been looking for. Hey, y'all, and y'all notice something about this car on the left side where it tore up right there? Y'all remember Jarvis? What is his name? Jarvis. I'm trying to remember these folks now. But in Isaiah Harris' case, when in that girl car was tore up in the front on the left side, it always something on the left side of them cars be tore up. He brought that girl home. Y'all remember in Isaiah Harris' case when that boy, when Jarvis borrowed his girlfriend's car and brought that car messed up in the front, just like this car. Telling me that they hit it hard. They hit something hard. They put that girl in that car right there. 2000 in 2000, what they doing with a car like that? Do they race cars? Do Bonnie Clyde race cars? Y'all talking about 2009, not 1859 or 1959, my year, when I was born. They driving around in a car like that? That's a nice car for the style. So you got to ask yourself, something about Bonnie and Clyde. How often do they go work for somebody else? I believe they working for somebody else, y'all. I believe they working for somebody else. Bunny, Clyde, Raw Lee, and Connie. It's Bunny and Clyde.
That matches the description of a car similar to the one originally sought during the initial search in 2000. Roy, Connie, and Annalie now all live in separate homes.
Why they separate? Why they in separate homes? Because they caught. And y'all see how people getting away with stuff. They stay in separate home now. Why Bunny and Clyde separated now? Why is Bunny and Clyde separated now? Because they know they on their ass. Excuse the expression, y'all. They on their behind. In this case. But they getting away, y'all. They stay in separate homes now. Why are they still on the streets?
Roy and Connie lived with their daughter Annalie at the time of the disappearance.
Annalie, we need you to talk. Annalie, please talk, baby. But see, long as you got Bonnie and Clyde's living, Annalie not gonna say nothing, even though Annalie not 13 anymore. She ain't gonna say nothing because she don't got what she needed. Allegedly. What she got could have saved her life. We don't know because you talking about 2025. Come on, y'all. That's enough time to get what you need for your body. Allegedly.
Where they found a green car that matches the description of a car similar to the one originally sought during the initial search in 2000. Roy, Connie, and Annalie now all live in separate homes. Law enforcement took DNA samples and searched the current residences of all these living people, including a large search of Roy's home. The documents say they took dozens of evidence pieces, including an unidentified human tooth in a Ziploc bag, but nowhere did they find any human remains. That leaves what we don't know.
Chad, let me tell y'all something. You actually thought that you were going to find a human remain. Do you actually think that you was going to find a human? Come on. Remains. No. No. No human remains found. You're not going to find it because they don't destroy that body. Allegedly.
Police are officially calling this a homicide investigation in the documents, but we still don't know where her body is. We also cannot verify how she may have died. We're also waiting to hear more.
Now, what is unknown is where Asia body is. Y'all know where Asia body is. How Asia died. Asia was on the basketball team. A ball can hit her hand and it ain't gonna hurt. They could throw a ball and she ducking and dodging and died. That girl gave them hell trying to get out of there. She was running fast. She can run. But they were messing with trying to catch her. See, that old Russell, we don't know what his problem is. Because he done been in two different facilities. What have he been doing to be in two different facilities? And then they end up with Bonnie and Clyde. Then he end up with Bonnie and Clyde. And then we got a missing girl on the run. Who let that girl out that door? Y'all part of it too. Now, something else unknown. Why Annalie is not a suspect. Annalie may be a victim herself. Talking about why Annalie is not a suspect. Annalie was 13. Bonnie Clyde is the suspect. Why the question's not why Bonnie Clyde not a suspect? Why the question ain't that? Why you asking Annalie being a suspect? Annalie was 13. We talking about these grown folks. Why Bonnie Clyde is not a suspect? Now, I'll be nice and let Em try to get Annalie, get her some Coca-Cola, get her some cookies or whatever she wants, some oysters, crab legs, and put in the room. Say we're gonna have dinner together. But in this dinner, what you got to do is we gotta sit down, we gotta talk, baby. We gotta spend some money on you. You're gonna have to talk, Annalie. What is it that you want to buy? We're gonna get it for you. No, we'll get it. And y'all need to be trying to find out what you can get from Anna Lee. Anna Lee knows what happened. She was 13. I can remember stuff when I was 13. I ran track. I did. I was smart. I do a lot of stuff I can remember when I was 18. I mean, said 13. So, of course, Anna Lee know what went on. But she's not a suspect. She is more of a witness. And no, she is not considered a suspect. Come on, boo.
Why Anna Lee is not considered a suspect. The documents touch on this repeatedly with the quote,
Let me see what they say right here. Quote, investigators believe adult assistance from Roy, Bonnie Clyde, and Connie would have been necessary in the execution and or concealment of the crime. That's what I said. That is exactly what I said. Why y'all got them? Why they ain't locked up? Why y'all didn't arrest them? Interrogate them. How old are these people now? I just said that they assist. That baby ain't got nothing to do with it. Anna Lee ain't got it, but Anna Lee will talk. But y'all still got Bonnie and Clyde living, but in different homes. They had to separate because they know where that baby is, y'all. And what they gonna do? Blame each other. Because I know that little girl fought for her life.
investigators believe adult assistance from Roy Dedman and Connie Dedman would have been necessary in the execution or concealment of the crime. We reached back out to the Cleveland County Sheriff to get some of these answers, but he says he's not taking any questions at the moment. With your Verify, I'm Julie Kay.
Here we go with another one. Ain't taking no questions. Y'all got two twins on top of Bear Mountain. Got the healthiest organs. All right, y'all. Now look. Now we just got educated in that like that. You know how we do over here. We're gonna keep it real. Now let's listen to the cousin. Now the cousin is gonna give y'all some. It's gonna explain y'all what happened days before Asha went missing. I said went missing. Lord, let me change stuff. That's what happened when you work by yourself, y'all. You make mistakes, okay? Let me change when. It said went. Hold on, y'all. In my title, it's supposed to say went. These bifocals ain't working right. I just freaked out when I saw it. What? Hold on. Went. Let's see. Okay. I got Asha, the Greek cousin, explains days before Asha went missing. Okay. That's what we about to listen to her. Let's see what the cousin know. Let's see what the cousin know. Let's listen to the cousin and find out what the cousin about to say. Yeah. Mm-hmm. Let's see what the cousin gonna say, y'all. Let's see, Lord have mercy, Jesus. Here we go, y'all. Here we go.
That particular day, she was ushering, and I was sitting on the side that she was ushering for Macedonia. We all went to Macedonia Missionary Baptist Church, and so she was ushering that day, and it was the February 14th, which is also her parents' anniversary as well. But we all at church, and it was just it was raining really, really, really bad. I'm sorry. Oh, yes. I mean, we were at church. We were praising God. We were all happy, you know. It was Valentine's Day, and, you know, it was just a ordinary, like, Sunday type of thing. But like I said, I wasn't, you know, she was a child then, and so, you know, they was in a different level. Like I was saying, she was ushering, so her parents had her at church, and my kids were a little bit younger, but how do you call it? She was, so I mean, they're all good, great people. They're good people.
And I know that you aren't really close with her parents anymore, but I'm sure they're probably still hurting. What do you hope? What do you hope? Can you, I guess, kind of speak to what you hope that they can get out of this investigation?
Find out what happened. To find out what happened. And to find out if any, you know, someone is responsible for it, that they, you know, that justice be served. But just find out for the family, especially Carolyn Fuller, you know, and everybody who loved her. To find out what's going on, what had happened that night. And if anyone is responsible for it, that they will have, you know, justice to be served. But a lot of years, and I can imagine what the parents are feeling. I wasn't really close with them, but we just went to church and knew we were family and fellowshiped. But after that day, we ran right over there to go. It was like good. You know, it's just undescribable what my part was, just being there, but I can't imagine what the parents and grandparents, but I was able to take them. We just did anything that we could do to support and love on each other. And as I feel the same ways now, just to pray the assistant with the officials, the authorities, to find out, you know, what is to be. I can't speculate on anything. You know, move forward and they be able to have some type of closure or also justice, if anything. But I still always have my hope. Always at the end of the day, I don't never give up hope. I just keep on my faith and hope, and I pray that they do as well.
Okay.
That's all I can say. Because it's getting me kind of emotional to go back down there because it's been a long time. And but I know they're a great family, and both of their
WCNC Plus up the government right there. That was Asha Degree's cousin. She explained sort of the relate her in church. We all went to church together in that community, and then after Asha went missing 25 years ago, and they got closer and towards the end of the interview.
Okay. Now, cousin, call. I just heard your whole cases where the family ain't that close, but the people who ain't that close always running their mouth out the family. Y'all notice that? The cases that we cover, listen to what I said. The cases that we're covering always got something to do with the extended person, extended cousin. The cousin don't even speak to the folks, but then they want to get on the telephone and be on social media and talk. Now she said they're not even that close. So why in the heck is she on the phone getting information about Asia if she ain't got see y'all, I'ma tell y'all got to watch these folks, even your own people. I was sitting on the side and that she was ushering, at the Macedonia. She was ushering. So I know you do have children usher. I'm just surprised she ain't not even in the choir. Did she want her to be a usher or the usher? But y'all want her to be one? This is Valentine's Day. Did a boy take that girl who liked her from church, that close to the family, took that girl out of their house? Did a boy at the church like her? Did she have a crush on a girl? These days, they do stuff different now. So now it's coming. Who was at the church that gave her something for Valentine? Who wants to give her a Valentine benign? But the nine, she seemed like a bright young lady because she a usher. They kind of like different than the me in the choir. A teenager that like her gave her want to be with her, and gave her something for Valentine and want to spend time with her. So she packed her things up and she left because she went. It's weird. This is some weird stuff. Is it? Are we dealing here with Asia, 9 years old, been on social media or liking somebody? You'll be surprised how they be on social media. They thinking the guys that is who have a crush on them is older, but supposed to be 9 or 10. Y'all gotta remember social media is big now these days. So listening to the extended cousin speak, she paying attention to Asia because she recognized everything Asia was doing. And she keeps saying, Jessica, let me tell you something. I believe in Jesus. But I'm saying though, Jessica, I don't go to church like that. I don't go to church, but I do pray. Now, just because the cousin just sit here and act like their family this and that, how they go to church, doesn't mean that something is not a hidden secret within the home. Just because they go to church, because she kept bringing up, oh, we go to church, they church going to church. Now we need not you talking, we need the first cousin to talk. So what? She was I never heard on the message on the church, but I heard her, but I don't know their religion. I don't know. Let me see. Okay, y'all look it up. You know me, but stuff be on my mind. I ain't gonna bite my tongue. I'm gonna research stuff because whew, Lord, messes to me. It's our kids. They don't start messing with the children now. Y'all know they said this back. Y'all didn't pay it no attention, but all this was said You ain't gonna be able to tell the end of the world, cause the end of the world gonna come different than it's supposed to be coming. People to turn on their children, and that's what's going on, allegedly. Now, Macedonia, what country is Macedonia? Uh, it's currently commonly known as Macedonia. Macedonia is officially called by the republics of North Macedonia. That ain't telling me nothing. Now, what is Macedonia now? Let me see. Uh, what is biblical Macedonia called today? It's a large part of Macedonia became became southern Serbia, including the territory of what today is republics uh, north. That ain't telling me that. In the Bible, Macedonia is a region in northern Greece that played a key role in the early spread of Christianity, particularly through the missionary journey. Now, are they strict? Are they strict people? Are they faith is strict? Is somebody trying to keep her away from somebody she like? Is it somebody at the church that she like that the family know? Don't see. She kept it a secret. I'm just putting all of this stuff together from what the auntie said. Not the auntie, but the cousin.
She was ushering for Macedonia. I went to Macedonia Missionary Baptist Church, and so she was which is
Oh, so we did on Valentine's Day. We dealing with things went on in the church. Then we dealing with the parents' anniversary. Hmm. When they had their anniversary, who was babysitting Asia? Because they haven't said how old her brother was. Who was babysitting Asia and who was in that house? Because in their anniversary, they usually go somewhere and just be, away from the house, and have a good time, enjoy one another. And I don't know if they country people, what kind of people are they? But if you think about that, who was babysitting earlier part of that day? Was it her brother babysitting her? Some man right him. So they had an anniversary because something had went wrong, y'all. Then her so-called, she ain't but 9, but she seemed like she's mature for 9. On a child style. She ushering. That's old fashioned. But we do have young people ushering. But by her being active on the basketball team, I'm trying to see how is she on the basketball team. She must be on AAU or something like that because she's 9 and elementary don't have no basketball team, but AAU does. So is she on the basketball team at a recreation center? Somebody got their eyes had a crush on her. Do she like white guys? Y'all ain't trying to be fair. I love white men. I love all men, black men, white men. I love all of them. As long as they got some sense. But do she like? Do she like Caucasian little boys? Teenagers. It's so much from the way the aunt got the cousin got me thinking this way, y'all. She got me thinking this way. And I got another question. How far do Bonnie and Clyde live from that church? How far do Bonnie and Clyde live from their house? And who know Bonnie and Clyde? How they connected with this case? How did they know this? How did they know to do this? Because she checked in there at 2:30, she went in there. So how did Bonnie and Clyde know to reach to come and what they doing up? And I was in the club, so I mean I'm saying they wasn't at no club. Bonnie and Clyde wasn't at a club. Did they got a phone call or what? Jesus.
as well. But we all at church and fellowship, and it was just like a regular Sunday that we had.
This happened on a Sunday. Hmm. She was smiling. She was having a good time. Or was she faking? Was she faking? Put on his front? Cause she ain't benign at the time. Mm. So a Sunday is that? Why is she up walking and she got to go to school the next day, y'all? This ain't making no sense. And you got a man in the house. The daddy didn't get up and go see is anybody in that room. And the brother say he heard noise. If I hear some noise, I tell about this bed real quick, baby. I don't hear nothing like that. But if I do, I jump. I know when that refrigerator be down there popping sometime because something wrong with the ice maker. You ought to see my dogs be head be up in the air waving like I don't care. All our eye booked. I get up and I go down there and see what's going on. Get out your beds. Let the bed go. Get up. Go see what's going on in your house. Shoot.
One night, I just remember it was raining really, really bad.
She said it was raining really, really bad and it was cold. Why in the world would that baby in February want to be out there walking in the rain? Come on, y'all.
I'm sorry. Oh, yes. I mean, we were.
What should do it seem like she is happy? Do she seem like she was a happy little girl? Oh, of course. We was at church. So what? You was at church. She might not have been happy, want to be at church. He asked you a good question. We was praising God. What kind of God y'all were praising that night? Y'all, because you into the church don't mean that the daughter was really into the church. She has to go. Our parent made no, our parent. I went to church. I walked to church at 13. This baby is 9 years old. She got plenty of sense. Yeah, we were praising God. Yeah. Yeah, she was happy because we were praising God. No, you were happy because you were praising God. But that's don't mean that she happy about that. She just put emphasis. She just put emphasis on Valentine's Day. She said they were happy in church. Well, she said that they were happy in church. That don't mean that little girl Asia was happy in church. It was Valentine's Day. So what? It was Valentine's Day. You were happy.
Ordinary like Sunday, um, type of thing. But like I said, I wasn't, she was a child then, and so, they was in a different lot of things. Just like I say.
Wait a minute. She's a child and was in a different lot of things. Well, like I was saying, this lady know y'all what's going on. This lady know what's going on. What she mean? What she just said? That Asia was in a lot of different things. What you talking about? Like sports? Now I want to. I just want to ask a question, y'all. I'm just doing the investigation mentally. Okay. I want to know: do she like girls? Is it involves a girl on the team? Is this on the AAU team or whatever team it is? Because y'all got a picture of her playing basketball. There's so many cases that we have with girls that don't like boys at her age, and they like girls because they was told not to like boys. Don't fool with no boy, but you never did tell them not to fool with no girls either. So it's I don't know why all of a sudden a girl came to my mind, and I ain't no psychic. She was in a lot of different things. Maybe she was going to meet her girlfriend. Maybe she was going to meet her boyfriend. Maybe she got up and want to go meet and be with somebody on Valentine's Day. She's a human.
So her parents had her in church. But
She didn't ask you about your kids. They didn't ask you about your kids. But there always got to be that family member that don't hard to speak to the family and want some attention. Now here she go. They ain't ask her nothing. They ain't studying your children right now. We trying to find Asha. Said my kids was a little bit younger. They ain't ask you nothing about your kid. It ain't your kid turn right now. It's Asha's turn. My kids was a little bit younger. Why did she say that? Sheesh. What that got to do with anything?
how do you call it? She was in church.
She keep putting emphasis on them and that church. Wow. Is the preacher male or female? Something going on in this thing, y'all. The whole family are involved in church. Why does she keep putting emphasis? Who cooked that evening? Who watched that night? Who did what? Let's get the church as a church. The whole family involved in church.
So, I mean, they're all good, great people. They're good people.
And I know that you aren't really close with her parents anymore, but I'm sure they're probably.
I like what he asking her. Of course they're gonna be still. Y'all, when y'all don't start getting weak where y'all don't want to be talking about what's going on with your person being missing, y'all got to be strong. These days, modern time, you got to be strong. Y'all ain't as strong as it was back in the days. Them folks will come up to the microphone and be already upset and be lying at the same time.
Are still hurting. What do you hope? What do you hope? Can you guys kind of speak to like what you hope that they can get out of this investigation?
To find out what happened. out if anything, if any, someone is responsible for it, that they, that justice will be served. But
I don't know. Cousin, I don't even know why you got on the phone. I don't even know why you got on the phone. Because you don't even talk to them people. Especially who? In Quillo. What she say? Oh, Quillo. Okay, the mom and the daddy. Okay, I'm sorry. Oh, Lord.
and everybody who loved her. Just find out what's going on, what happened that night.
She don't even know what to say. You don't need to be around them people.
And that, like I said, if anyone is responsible for it.
If anything or anyone is responsible for, you act like you know something, cousin. You act like you know something.
That they will have, justice to be served. Because it's just a lot of years. And
So what? That's because they've been missing in 2000. They still living. So what? It been so many years. What y'all just forgot about her like that? We still in 2000. Something about this year right here. It's something about year of 2000. Spiritual wise. I can't even marry with the parents. Okay, they gonna go hard to time, but they got to stay strong for their daughter too. If they love her, they got to stay strong for their daughter and get justice for their daughter. You can't get justice quiet.
At this time, it's so long. Like I said initially, I wasn't really close with them, but we just went to church.
I wasn't really see. Look, I wasn't really close to them. Listen to what she just said. You sure saying a lot. We was. I heard this before. We were family. We attend church, but we don't talk to each other. Y'all church going people, and y'all acting like that. What in the world is going on? I was really close with them. I wasn't really close to them. So why is you talking? Why y'all go to church? Why y'all ain't close? Y'all believe in God. Why y'all ain't close? Why y'all ain't close? Oh Jesus, help me, Jesus.
I wasn't really close with them, but we just went to church and knew we were family and fellowship. But after that day, when I think it was my brother-in-law came and knocked on our door, we ran right over there to go. Like,
oh, what? Wait a minute, hold up. Hold up. Y'all really not that close. But they had the audacity to come knock on your door to tell you that that girl was missing. Ain't that something? You just said y'all weren't that close. But we see each other in church. So you got to see more than that, cousin. If they ran over your house, you right across the street from them. You sees what's going on in the house. Now hold up. Now you said that I didn't. You said they knocked on your door. That's what you said. So why, if y'all not close, why they come knock on your door? Y'all not close. Y'all see each other in church. I don't understand that. What you just said. I don't. I don't understand that. I think it was my brother-in-law came and knocked on the door. Who is your brother-in-law? Who is your brother-in-law that came and knock on your door? And why did the brother-in-law come knock on your door? Y'all, this whole case right here is suspicious.
We ran right over there to go.
And now they've closed. This just like Naziah Harris case. Now they closed. It took something that happened to Asha degree for the family to come close. Ain't that something, y'all? Ain't that something? It took something to happen to this little baby for the family to come close, because she just said that they weren't close at first. But now the girl gone, now they want to be close. Ain't that something? It's almost like, give me my flowers while I'm alive. Don't act like you care about me when you didn't care about me. Ooh, wee. Jesus.
Didn't know what to do but just to be there and do anything that we could for them.
What you say? What you say? She said do anything. What she said when they knock on her door? I don't know what she did when they knocked on that door.
Know what to do but just to be there and do anything that we could for them. Not something that anyone would have to want to,
Something ain't right about that, y'all. They need to investigate her. Because why would the son-in-law be coming on there knocking on the door telling her about Asia? And she don't hardly speak to them, she just see them at church. Something ain't smelling right in this case.
Undescribable what my part was just being there, but I can't imagine.
It's undescribable with my part. Just they knock on your door just for your part to sit there and be nosy. Why they when they had them barbecues or when they be over there doing something, why they invite you over there then?
Parents and grandparents, but I was able to get closer with them at that time and both of their families, and we just did anything that we could do to support and love on each other. And as I feel the same way now, just to pray for them and ask God to help and assist with the officials and authorities to find out, what is to be. I can't speculate on anything, but I just pray that
Just if y'all don't tell the truth what happened to her, why all of a sudden something happened to that baby and then the family want to come together and be friends? Lord, how much is Jesus?
But I always have my hope. Always at the end of the day, I don't never give up hope. Anything could be, I just keep on my faith and hope, and I pray that they do as well. Okay. That's all I can.
Oh no, we're gonna keep talking about it. You're supposed to still be down in that road because they didn't find her yet. Yeah, how y'all gonna stop talking about the girl like that? Oh, how much of y'all? Ooh, it's so much. It's so many. Police now. They know somebody know what. Somebody, that girl this baby went from having a good day at church, Valentine's Day, and ushering to being missing in the middle of the night. That don't even sound right. Y'all. It's so much going on. And I wanna do the cousin No Bunny and Clyde. I wanna do they No Bunny and Clyde, y'all. There's something about this girl right now. Insurance paper flying around. Everything, something ain't right in this thing. Something is not right. She went from right here in 2000. Smart little girl. I can look at her teeth. Let's go right here. Now, y'all, close that screen door and start letting all them flies up in here. Y'all tell me what y'all think about this case. Y'all doing good. I appreciate those who watching and everything. When it come down to these kids, it's going to take a community. And then we're going to need you to tell the truth. All right? I'm out of here, y'all.